25th of April, a powerful earthquake shook Nepal. Buildings collapsed, heritage monuments turned into rubble. Thousands lost their homes, many their family members. Today, almost 2 weeks later, many still wait for relief and rehabilitation. Today on the special edition of the Citizen Journalist show, you will see stories, hear voices of people who are still waiting for relief to reach in the interiors and remote regions of Nepal. Many citizens are out there giving their helping hand. This is the Nepal Disaster Special of the CJ Show.
In one of those broken houses, a girl lighting 2 lamps. She couldn't speak, but people told me that she lost her mother and brother. And she doesn't have a father. And she was now just alone in this world, and she had lost her house.
She was with her 9-month-old child and her 5-year-old kid, and they were largely living in a tent outside the house. And from the house was quite broken down, but you didn't get a sense of the danger within which they were living till you actually went inside. And when I went inside with her up a staircase, saw that the whole first floor was extremely precarious, and they could not live anywhere in the ground floor.
First on the Citizen Journalist show, a group of photographers from India and the world are in Nepal documenting the ground reality. Their pictures are not just images but stories of the acute loss. Many people have lost their homes, their families, their livelihoods. And the aim, the attempt is to get these stories to reach you so that you can send out a helping hand. Here is Nepal Photo Project and some of the people associated with it speaking out on the Citizen Journalist show.
The stories that I could tell were put up on Instagram and you shared with Nepal Photo Project, which got a lot of attention to these people who were affected in the areas.
And we thought, this is a really good way to for everyone to collaborate and kind of send us useful and credible information and images that are coming out of Nepal right now.
It was great that there was a platform like Nepal Photo Project where our images could mean a lot more than just images.
The common sights in these areas are people trying to take out the grain storage from the house mixed with mud and trying to wash it off and use it, and these are common sights that you see in these villages, but the villages are all flattened. And there's not even a single building in the village where they can go and stay after the aftershocks are gone. Everybody will be on tent. In one of those broken houses, a girl lighting 2 lamps. She couldn't speak, but people told me that she lost her mother and brother. And she doesn't have a father. And she was now just alone in this world, and she had lost her house. And that was something that was, a very touching story for me, because she didn't seem to talk. So after a while of, I was there for a night, so we stayed back and I met her next day, and then I realized she knows English. She studied 11th standard until 11th standard, and she wants to continue her education. When I came back to Kathmandu after 2 days, I realized that this picture was talked about a lot, and a lot of mails came to me directly saying we want to help her. So I directed them to the right person, and what I hear is there are groups now who are trying to fund her education in Kathmandu.
I was shooting Dalchiniale Magar in this village called Pastlang in Gorkha. She was with her 9-month-old child and her 5-year-old kid, and they were largely living in a tent outside the house. And from the house was quite broken down, but you didn't get a sense of the danger within which they were living till you actually went inside. And when I went inside with her up a staircase, saw that the whole first floor was extremely precarious, and they could not live anywhere in the ground floor, because it could just fall down any minute. And that's true for a lot of houses over there where people are just waiting for their houses to fall down.
There was a cow shed that was buried, and the head of a cow was outside. Then the cow is alive, and the lady is feeding the cow and whispering its name, and its name was Lakshmi. And I asked the lady, like, what are you telling her? And she says, I'm just whispering her name and easing her out because she's broken her neck. So we can't do much. Like, even if we take her out, she won't survive. So rather she passes away peacefully, and she's feeding the cow. And she told that, you know, she was our sustenance. She used to give 7 liters of milk every day, and this is how we used to live.
Navraj Pradhan is from Darjeeling in India, and he was living and working in Kathmandu when the devastation struck. He didn't come back. He stayed put and is now helping in the relief work. He's traveled to the interiors of the country where government agencies have not been able to reach with the relief. He's clicked pictures, made videos, and is now sending his CJ report.
Hi, I'm Navraj Pradhan. I'm reporting as a CNNIBN citizen journalist from here in Nepal. We are in a place outskirts of Kathmandu. It's about 1.5 hours in a district called Kavre. The place area is Sangha villages. We are in a particular place called Magar Tol and other places as well which we are covering. Right now we've just found out that there are about 42 houses which have been decimated, and people are entirely living in die-hard strait conditions. Nothing is improving. The weather has been challenging ever since the earthquake, since last week. It's been a week, and we learned that we are the first ones who come with relief materials to give them support and you know, try to find out what is going on at the situation here in Ground Zero. So we are here with a group of passionate friends, colleagues, scientists, you know, businessmen who've come here to look at some few issues. And the issues here, what we found at first hand was that people don't even have shelters. They don't even have a roof to stay. They've lost their homes. And I mean, the basic thing was people didn't even have anything at all. Now they just have their lives.
Our next citizen journalist is Theodore Sam. He works with World Vision, and here he is in his videos highlighting the challenges that his team faced while reaching the interiors of Nepal. Being there, he realized that it was the children who saw the devastation firsthand, saw losing their families. It was the children who suffered the most.
My name is Theodore Sam. I work with an organization called World Vision in India. I arrived in Nepal the very next day after the earthquake struck on Saturday. I went to one of the worst affected districts in Gorkha, where I got to go to some of the villages which were completely damaged. Like in any other emergency, in the Nepal earthquake, children have been affected the most. A lot of children are psychologically affected. A lot of children have lost their loved ones. A lot of the children's homes are completely destroyed. A lot of schools are destroyed as well, or they're damaged, and the government has declared 1 month holiday for all the schools here. So World Vision has started a child-friendly space where children can come and spend their time here. We teach them drawing, we teach them stories, we teach them songs. It's a good space for them to come out of this situation and helps them move on.
Chahana Singhdel and Chandiraj Dehel are now sending us a very special report. Amidst the rubble, there is a story of hope. The young of Kathmandu, 15, 17-year-olds, are out there helping remove the rubble and restore their city.
volunteer here because it's my country, it's my heritage. So like, I think so it's my responsibility to work out here.
I just wanted to do something nice for my country. That's it.
Things centuries old heritage, they're gone. We can preserve it by making it more stronger this time. Using better things, better bricks, better cement, better things to hold it. I think that's how we can preserve it.
If I said this, as being a Nepali, it's my own duty, and I hope the other youngster people do the same stuff. It's better to come here and do a small thing than to stay back home.
With that, we are slipping into a very short break here on the CJ show. But on the other side, we're getting you survivor accounts, people who witnessed the devastation firsthand. Yes, survivor stories are reaching to us from across the countries as travelers return from what they call their worst nightmare.
हम 14 लोग मिलके नेपाल गए थे। शनिवार सुबह हम पशुपतिनाथ मंदिर गए। मंदिर में हम 11:15 तक हम अच्छे से दर्शन करे हैं। फिर उसी टाइम इतने जबरदस्त झटका लगा, सब लोग हिलने लग गए। लेकिन जब जबरदस्त झटका लगा, फिर हमें लगा कि ये भूकंप आया है। आंगन में फिर लोग इकट्ठे हो गए सारे। कुछ एक दो बच्चे बेहोश हो गए, एक लेडी बहुत जबरदस्त रो रही थी। हम आधे लोग बिछड़ गए थे, कुछ लोग अंदर थे, कुछ बाहर थे। अभी मंदिर के आंगन में ही थे। फिर एकदम एक छोटा सा गुंबद गिरा। लोग घरों से निकल के बाहर आ गए। किसी के साथ तो छोटे 6 महीने का बच्चा है, किसी के साथ 1 साल का बच्चा है। कोई बच्चा रो रहा है, कोई पानी मांग रहा है। पानी कभी मिलता कभी नहीं मिलता। होटल में फिर हम नीचे लॉबी में ही बैठे रहे। ऊपर 8th फ्लोर पे हमारे रूम थे, पर वहाँ पे उन्होंने जाने नहीं दिया। जूते पहन के ही हम बैठे रहे या लेटे रहे, क्योंकि उसी टाइम झटके लग रहे थे। फिर थोड़ी देर में जैसे ही झटका आता था फिर बाहर चले जाते थे। मोबाइल जो है ऑफ हो गए, लाइट नहीं थी, चार्ज नहीं होते थे। कई जगह हमने थोड़ी लाशें भी देखी। वहाँ मंदिर के पास ही शमशान घाट था, वहाँ धुएं निकले जा रहे थे, लोग रो रहे हैं। इन 48 घंटों में हमारे मन में इतना डर बैठ गया था कि कुछ तो हम कभी रोने लग जाते थे, कभी बैठ जाते थे, कभी लेट जाते थे। मतलब 48 घंटे बहुत टेंशन में रहे कि हम कैसे पहुंचेंगे घर। एयरपोर्ट में बहुत लंबी लाइनें थी। हम 11 बजे एयरपोर्ट पे 11:30 पहुंच गए थे। 1:30 बजे हमें बोर्डिंग कार्ड मिला। फिर हम ऊपर चले गए, वहाँ भी बहुत भीड़ थी, कोई बैठने की जगह नहीं, कोई खड़े होने की जगह नहीं। हम रात को 12 बजे घर आए हैं। उस टाइम हमने थोड़ी सी चैन की सांस ली। अभी भी नेपाल में बहुत दुखदायी स्थिति है। लोगों के घर टूट गए हैं, खाने पीने की व्यवस्था नहीं है, छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं लोगों के पास। इसलिए मैं सबको विनती करती हूँ कि आप जितनी उनकी सहायता कर सकते हैं कीजिए, ताकि वो अपनी नॉर्मल जिंदगी दोबारा से शुरू कर सके। मैं शीला जस्सल, सिटीजन जर्नलिस्ट, IBN के लिए।
Hi, I am Ashwini, a homemaker from Bangalore. We gone to Kathmandu for pilgrimage. Unfortunately, it was a nightmare because of earthquake. I will tell you how. On 25th April, we were in Jalnarayan temple. After darshan, all of a sudden, that earthquake started. When we feel that earthquake is happening, so we slowly moving towards the open area where the people are gathered. So there they are telling like again it will come back. So we bit scared. So it's a 10 minutes walkable distance from that place to where we stayed in ISKCON guest house. So we thought of we will walk and reach that place, we will be safe. There is one school, all walls are fall down, and some old houses, they also collapsed. People are very scary, and even we don't know what to do and what is happening also. Somehow we managed to send message that we are safe in ISKCON through WhatsApp. Their communication is a big problem. We can't call the family members, and everything is blocked. Till Monday afternoon we were in ISKCON praying God and doing khichdi to help the people who are suffering. So 12:30 we received a call from Indian Air Force are helping to flew back to Delhi. So we back to airport, and there Indian Air Force evacuated the people. So by 4:35 we reached Delhi. I would like to thank God and Indian Air Force and people who prayed for us. This is Ashwini, citizen journalist for CNNIBN.
Our next citizen journalist is filmmaker Kunal Deshmukh. He was in Nepal to attend a close friend's wedding, and then the earth shook. And then it was hours and hours that turned into days. It was an ordeal that he will never forget. He waited endlessly at the airport, and there was a worried family back home in Mumbai. Here he is talking about his ordeal with CJ Teams. Mihir Trivedi.
Hi, this is Kunal Deshmukh, and I'm using the Citizen Journlist platform to talk about my experiences in Nepal during this earthquake. We were in Nepal for a close childhood school friends wedding. So we were a bunch of school friends meeting. Some of them had come from Hong Kong, Dubai. We were there on the 23rd and the 24th for the wedding at Gokarna Forest Resort in Nepal. On the 25th, we were checking out at 11:45. We were in our rooms packing when the entire ground beneath our feet began to shake. I can still remember that distinct sound because the hotel is made out of wood, and it felt as if someone was just squeezing that wood together. It made a very disturbing sound of creaking noise, and I couldn't even reach out to my girlfriend, who was maybe 6 feet away, and we both just sat on the ground. I told her, look, just stay calm, it's an earthquake. At that time I thought, okay, it'll pass. It's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and it just wouldn't stop. And finally I managed to crawl to her, and we looked up and we saw this massive wooden fan swing side to side. And that's when I realized we cannot be in the room. I just held her hand and said, run. Rubble falling, it's out of a Steven Spielberg disaster movie. From that point on, for the next 6 to 8 hours, I think there were tremors every 10-15 minutes, and then the interval kept getting longer and longer. The one thing on everyone's mind was, how do we get out of here? We had to spend the night in the hotel. The temperature had majorly dropped. It had started getting cold. Through the night there were tremors, and you could hear people run out of rooms, go back down, come back out. So you really couldn't get any sleep. In the morning we checked out at 8 or 9 o'clock, and we said, okay, let's go to the airport and then take a call from there. Like, there has to be something flying out if the Air Force is coming in. Just the taxi journey to the airport was absolutely numbing. I will never forget those visuals of just people in gardens, on the hillside, houses collapsed, building collapsed, cracks in roads. We got to the airport, it was even worse than the first day. Like, there was absolutely no place to move. People had camped up outside. There was kilometers long lines for people to get into for the Air Force. and we somehow pushed our way through, got to a check-in counter. All of us managed to check in, which is when there was, the next big tremor of 6 point something. There was a mini stampede at the airport. Thereon started, I think, a 48-hour ordeal of trying to get onto a plane, and it was a disturbing experience on the whole. And I'm just glad that finally we could get onto a flight and we could get out.
That's all that we could pack in on this special edition of the CJ Show. If you have stories to tell, your survivor accounts, videos or pictures, you know where to send them. IBNCJ.com. Facebook and Twitter are also ways to reach us. Our hopes and prayers are with Nepal. From the entire team then, goodbye and take care.